Yo, what's going on, guys? J.Yumeko here. And today we're back with some more Katawa Shoujo. I'm sorry if I sound a bit out of it. I don't know, man. This game is fucking taking its toll on me, I think. It's weird how easily I can keep from seeing one another after class now. Actually, I'd venture to say that it's vaguely disturbing. As easily as we'd come together, we seem to have split apart without much trouble. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. We'd both been pretty bummed after that last night together, and we'd get to see each other every morning for our runs, and just our runs I might add. Lunch too. I especially enjoy lunchtime with her. We have plenty of time to talk about everything outside of school, whereas the morning runs have become increasingly businesslike. I think it's because Emmy wants to make up for our foolery in the storage shed, but no matter how much we joke at lunch, I can't help feeling a little worried about her. She seems distracted more often, and I've caught her fidgeting nervously more than once. Never figured her to be someone who cared that deeply about exams, but they certainly seem to be taking their toll, even though they haven't even started. This is just the run-up, the deep breath before the plunge. Tomorrow, the real trials begin. Or the real exams, anyway. As for me, I don't feel that worried about the exams at all. I'm not sure why. They're pretty important. My score here will determine my odds of getting into a good university. Hell, if I'm too cavalier now, it could spell doom for my academic career. But going into them, I feel confident that I'll come out on the other side okay. Muto thinks I've got the science examination locked up at any rate. Or as he says, the last thing that should give you trouble is my exam, Hisao. It's always beneath your talents. Then again, it is Muto who's telling me this. His praise of me carries the veiled implication that anything less than perfect from me would be disappointment, which is already causing me to fret more than I should about the exam. It's for that reason that I found myself in the library after class, poring over the textbook. Pretty simple things to look over, some formulas of velocity, a few bits about friction. A walk in the park compared to my dreaded English exam. Never was good with languages. As I flip through my notes one more time, my head begins to wander. After these exams are over, things should get easier. Soon we'll be graduated, and then off to college, hopefully. I remember my abortive attempt to find out what Emmy plans to do after high school. She avoided the subject pretty deftly, as I recall. Heck, it seems like just about every time I push too hard, she dances around the subject, or distracts me through other means. And boom, there it is. He needs to recognize that this is exactly her problem. She doesn't open up to him about anything. Not even as something as simple as, hey, what are you going to do after high school? Nothing. She is completely fucking Ziploc tight about anything that she's thinking or feeling, and that is a big red flag to me. Like a few days ago at lunch when Rin wasn't around. I've done it! I'm startled from my reverie by Yuko's triumphant shout. Gah! Yuko seemed mortified at my sudden starting. Oh my god! I'm sorry, I just got... and it really wasn't... and it's just that... As she stutters, I move quickly to calm her down before she gets too agitated. Whoa, hey! My words seem ineffective. Yuko continues to work herself into complete frenzy. And it's a library, and I shouldn't be... Easy there, just calm down. And really, I'm setting a bad example, and I'll get fired because I can't do anything right. Yuko! Shouting seems to work, though I draw the ire of several other students studying in the library. Yuko snaps to attention, like a soldier who's just heard the captain bark an order. Sorry. Calm down, it's okay. You just startled me a little, and that's only because I was daydreaming instead of studying. So really, you got me back on task. This is a complete lie, but it seems to work. Yuko takes a deep breath and seems to calm down a little, though she keeps shifting around with a nervous energy that seems awfully familiar. So, what got you so excited anyways? The Yamaku cat burglar! To her credit, Yuko manages to convey her intense excitement in a whisper. I think I know who it is. I got an anonymous tip as to their identity, so I did some spying and I think the tipster was right. Oh really? And who is this, burglar? Yuko shuts her mouth, shaking her head decisively. Nope, I can't tell you that. Why not? It's between me and the burglar. I can't risk you warning him that I'm on to his game. He could tip his hand early and blow town. Then I'm left with no perp. When did Yuko suddenly start talking like a hard-boiled detective? I wouldn't warn them. Why would I care? If you gotta ask that question, then you don't need to know. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Congratulations, I guess? Thanks. What for? The, cat burglar thing. Yuko nods and smiles appreciatively. So, studying for exams? Well, that was the plan, but I'm not having much luck though. Really? Is it because you can't find a book? I'm really sorry. I've been meaning to clean these shelves up for weeks now, but I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry. Whoa, wait. It's not that. I've got the book right here. To illustrate the point and hopefully calm down Yuko, I show her the textbook in front of me. My mind just keeps wandering is all. Is it because of the noise in here? I'm trying to be more strict about the noise levels, but I just can't bring myself to yell at people. I mean, aren't their lives hard enough without me blowing my authority around? No, it's not the noise level either, I promise. I'm just... hell, I don't know. Worried about Emmy. Worried about us. Worried about what happens after we graduate. Emmy's been kind of weird lately. What do you mean? Well, you know how we're dating now? I just don't know that we're actually, a couple. Or at least I don't know that we're beyond friends. Though friends normally don't do the sorts of things we do. See, that's the thing. I don't think their relationship can be called a couple. I think that they are friends with benefits, and that's really all there is to it. Physically, we're a couple. Coupling, at least. It's like every time I try to find out more about her, or about what she wants to do with her life, she dodges the question. Like the other day, I was talking to her at lunch about some schools I've been looking into, and I asked her, have you looked into any schools yet? She shrugs in response, says no, and when I ask why not, she says that she doesn't think that far ahead. I asked why she had that policy, and I suddenly realized what I'm about to start describing, and wisely decided to calm up. She what? She changed the subject. Wouldn't talk about it. Maybe it's an uncomfortable subject for her. Or she just doesn't think it needs explaining. Yeah, but it's not just that. Every time I try and find out what's been bothering her, she changes the subject too. It's like she likes being with me, but not getting close to me. Now that I've said it out loud, I feel worse. Yuko digests this bit of information. It seems to me that you're more serious about this than she is. I can almost feel my stomach twitch into a knot. She's right. That's exactly what it seems like. But is that really what's going on? I mean... Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense. You shouldn't take my advice, you barely know me. I'm just a librarian, and I'm single, so you can imagine I can't know what I'm talking about. No, I think you have a point. As much as it hurts to even consider it. Yuko seems to try desperately to find a way to soften the blow somewhat. Look, I'm probably wrong, but if you want to be sure of how obviously wrong I am, maybe you should just try to talk to her. Get some time alone and just talk about it. And don't let her change the subject either. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Or maybe I should just enjoy what I have. We have fun hanging out after all. And the runs are nice, and the other activities are nice, and talking to her is nice. Do I really need to get closer to her? What I've got now is pretty good. But that's silly. I want to get closer to her. I want to be able to help her out with whatever's bothering her. But maybe I should just wait until after exams are over. Maybe she'll brighten up once the stress is past. If she does, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. But if she doesn't, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I thank Yuko for her advice and head back to my room. Maybe I'll be able to concentrate more on my studies in there. Oh, okay, that finishes that one up. I'll leave the room after finishing my final exam and breathe a sigh of relief. As I'd hoped, the exams weren't so bad. I managed to breeze through just about everything but the English final, and even that was acceptable. I wonder how Amy did. Even more so, how she's doing. She looked terrible at lunch today. I mean, she was pretty happy to be out of her wheelchair, but she was so exhausted. Something's been wearing her down, and I'm starting to really doubt that it was just the exams. Should I confront her about this, though? My musing is interrupted by a tap on the shoulder. Hey, Sal. Got a minute? Ooh, okay. We're gonna save here, because I'm not gonna fucking fuck this up now. We are going to say... Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've got some time. No important to be or anything like that. Mito raises an eyebrow as if questioning my statement, then beckons me back into the classroom. I wanted to get some feedback from you if I could. I know that this course isn't quite up to your level. Don't worry about it. The science club activities are more than made up for it. Did they? Well, in fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you think that was a worthwhile activity? Just for my own reference. Well, yeah, it was a great way to go further than we did in class. It was definitely worthwhile. Mito seems delighted by my response. That's great! Exactly the sort of thing I was hoping for. You know, Isao, I'm glad you came here. It's always good to have a student who really gets into the subject to teach. In a way, it makes dealing with the rest of the students more tolerable. you're a bright kid, too. You took this stuff like a duck to water, or some other such simile. Thanks. You're a great help, especially with that college stuff. There's one more thing, Isao. A bit of advice from one scientist to another. What's that? What does a scientist do? Observe the world around him? Exactly. Good. A simple question, but one that most people can't seem to answer. That's the essence of a scientist, Isao. We observe what's there and try to figure it out. But if there's something you can't figure out, what's a scientist do if he can't observe something? How, for example, can we talk about quarks when nobody's ever actually seen one, or black holes when observing them directly is impossible? Well, the scientific equipment's pretty advanced. Mattel irritably waves away my response. No, that's not it at all. Those are tools. I'm trying to give you a philosophy. Think. If you can't observe something directly, then how can you observe it? Guess? How? How would you guess the movements of a quark? What is your guess based on? Of course. I should have thought of it earlier. The thing it affects. Mattel claps his hands together excitedly and whoops. Yes, exactly. Good. Remember that, Hisao. If you can't examine something directly, it's because you're looking at it wrong. You have to look at it differently if you want to uncover the truth. And if it eludes you, then look at whatever it leaves behind. That is the essence of being a scientist. We never stop looking for the answer. We never take anything for granted. Observe, experiment, and observe some more. There's a lot of stuff out there that makes sense, Isao. Your job is to get it to make sense. If nothing else, I hope you've learned that here. I think I can remember that. Mattel smiles, satisfied. Good. Now go enjoy your time off. You've earned it. I leave the room feeling a little confused. What brought that on? Although, am I going about this thing with Emmy the wrong way? If she won't tell me, then how can I go about it some other way? Boom! That was a fucking smart decision on my part. See, now he's got his head thinking, like, hey, I have plenty of answers, or questions that I need answered. Clearly the direct approach isn't working, so what else can I do? The question keeps spinning in my head even after I made my way back to my room. What if she gets angry about it? Besides, what if nothing's going on? If I go in and refuse to leave until she tells me what's wrong or something, won't that just come off as clingy? I don't want to start a fight or something over it. I don't want to start a fight or anything over something like this. Maybe we should just drop the matter and see how she is tomorrow before I do anything. Would it be so bad to just let it go? It's not like we don't enjoy each other's company, but as odd as it sounds, I really want to help her. I don't even know what with, or if there's anything that at all she needs help for, but I want to. Suddenly, a knock at my door rouses me. I open it to see Kenshi. Oh, it's you.
It's me. That's it. If you had any idea what I've been through, what I've gone, you'd be happy to see me, dude. I mean, that was some epic you may never see me again shit. And here you are just acting like I went down the store for some milk. You're a cold man, Hisao. I really respect that.
Thanks, I guess.
It's smart to play it safe, you know. Don't show any emotion. Keep your cards close to your chest. Unless it's time to show your cards, or you have bad cards, then you should fold or collect your winnings. Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I take it the, mission went well?
Whoa, awfully nosy of you, isn't it? You can't just go saying things like that. Things are at a delicate stage. One wrong move and bam, the invasion succeeds.
I thought you were gonna blow the conspiracy wide open.
It's bigger than I thought. I need to update my charts and probably change some of the puppets around. You want to help? I've got some whiskey from somewhere. You can fill me in on everything your investigation's turned up.
Better not. I'm supposed to meet her today. Gotta go do that. Can't raise suspicion. Kenshi nods in approval.
Still keeping it close to the chest, eh? Okay, man, I respect that. Good luck.
Thanks. I'm just gonna pretend for the sake of my own sanity that he's wishing me luck in talking to Emmy. And if I squint, that old card analogy he was talking about works here. Time to lay it all on the table. Or see if I can't get Emmy to do so, rather. With a sense of something approaching purpose, I head for Emmy's room. I hop up the stairs leading to her room and knock on the door. Your door's locked.
Oh yeah, sorry. Give me a minute.
In a few minutes, Emmy opens the door grinning.
Sorry, I had to put my legs on. I was napping.
Despite her grin, there's something definitely off. Emmy's eyes are slightly red, and it looks like she's been crying. Hey, no problem. Are you okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm fine.
It's just that you look like you've been crying. Oh yeah, Sal, you're off to a great start on this one.
What? No, I'm fine. I'm just happy to see you.
She punctuates this with a long kiss that continues as the door slams shut behind us. I know what she wants to do now, and I'm also painfully aware of how badly I want to do it too, but I break the kiss with a wrench of self-control that nearly kills me. Hey, wait. Emmy's eyes wrinkle in confusion.
Huh? Wait for what?
We need to talk.
Isn't this supposed to be my line? And never a good thing to say?
She's got a point. It's usually the lead into a breakup, or the prelude to a fight. Maybe it can be a good thing this time. Well, that's the hope anyway.
Uh-huh. Can we at least get onto the bed? It's my first day back on these things and I'm still readjusting. Plus, the nurse said I should probably be on them less often since running puts such strain on them.
Can't argue with that. It's a trap. We both know it, and we both don't care. Then again, it's awfully hard to get angry while in bed with the object of your affections, so maybe there's that motivation too. I set Emmy's legs by the bedside and sit down next to her, throwing an arm around her shoulders. In silence, we just enjoy being able to be in this position again for a few minutes. Then, of course, I need to ruin it again by opening my mouth. Look, I know that you've been having a kind of rough time of it lately, and I want to help you out. I thought it was just these exams getting to you, but now I come to your room and you've been crying. That kills me. But I can't do it if you won't talk to me about it.
I told you I'm fine.
No, you aren't. It's obvious something's eating at you. You can tell me, you know? There's the slightest increase in tension in Emmy's voice.
Why is my saying I'm fine not good enough? You're concerned and I get that. That's cool. But I'm fine, and it's nothing that you need to worry about.
Not sleeping and spacing out more than Rin does doesn't strike me as being fine. I want to help.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't like seeing you like this. I want you to be happy, you know? I get the feeling that came out wrong because Emmy fixes me with an icy stare.
So you want to fix me, Hisao?
She's definitely getting angry now.
Want to swoop in on your white charger and save the day? Stop the nightmares, the phantom limb pains? Restore what's lost?
Her voice catches in her throat, and the tears start to flow.
Well, you can't. Nobody can. Nobody will.
I'm so stunned by her sudden verbal assault that I remain quiet. Neither of us say anything for a while. I'm surprised that Emmy tightens her grip on me rather than pushing me away. After a deep breath, she starts talking again.
Look, I'm sorry. There's these nightmares about the accident.
Ah, the accident. I should have known. It took her legs after all, but it never comes up, of course.
And I usually deal with them fine because I can run. Running clears my head like nothing else. I don't have to worry about anything while I'm running. I just concentrate on breathing, on the rhythm of things. It's easier that way. Life's easier that way. Just keep moving forwards, you know? Nothing else matters, just getting around the next curve. And then it's the next curve, and the next, until I can't go anymore, or think anymore, or do anything but slow down and walk until I catch my breath again. After something like that, nothing else matters. But I've been stuck in that goddamn wheelchair for so long, so no outlet. Today it's just kind of boiled over a little.
You could have talked to me about it, you know? You didn't have to go it alone. Emmy smiles sadly, like she's trying to explain it to a child that all fire burns.
Yeah, I did, and I do.
But why? Why do you have to keep going through this alone? Why can't you just trust me enough to let me help you? That smile again. Emmy leans in and kisses me on my cheek, an almost motherly gesture. She leaves her mouth close to my ear as she confesses just one thing to me.
Because, Isao, I've already had everything I know ripped away from me at once. I don't know what I'd do if that happened again.
She pauses, as if uncertain as to whether or not she should continue. I can feel a violent churning in my gut. She continues.
So I can't rely on you, or the nurse, or anyone else. Just me. That's how it's gotta be.
Having delivered this short speech, she looks down and covers her mouth with the back of her hand. The conversation is clearly over. I search for something to say, but can't think of anything. Maybe I should go for now. I've got stuff. Emi doesn't even look up. She sounds tired or relieved. I can't tell which.
Okay, Sal. Go take care of that stuff. I'll see you tomorrow.
I get off the bed and head for the door, pausing at the doorway. Hey, Emi.
Yeah?
1,000 things I want to say. I'm too mixed up to say any of them, though. After her admitting that she'll never let me close, I feel like my world's just been ripped out from me. What happened in that accident? I know she lost her legs, but that's never seemed to bother her. What happened there? What scares a girl so badly that she won't accept help even from someone she loves? I don't know, but I want to know. I want to know so badly that being denied that answer feels like a knife in my guts.
Hey, Sal? You were saying?
I'm still standing in the doorway. Nothing. Never mind. And I'm closing the door. And walking down the hallway, down the stairs, out the door, into the dark. Somehow I wandered back to my own room. My brains are doing a mile a minute, going nowhere fast. I can't figure out how to deal with this. I thought that moving forward was a good thing. Dwelling less on a past that I can't change, living in the present and looking at the future. After this thing with Emi, I'm not sure anymore. She was saying the truth. It's simpler to look at the next curve, ignoring the path gone by. No worry about the opponent left behind. No care for the spectators on the sidelines. And unfortunately, no time to watch out for lagging teammates either. I throw myself down on the bed, looking at one corner of my ceiling as if the answers I want were written there. No such luck, of course. She's literally running away from something. But have I not been doing the same thing, trying my best to forget about my hospitalization? I am getting better, but my health isn't going to magically fix itself. Emi has 2 legs instead of a heart to deal with, but those aren't going to magically fix themselves either. Maybe this is just as fixed as the both of us can get. The room becomes darker and darker until I can't really tell I'm looking at a corner anymore. The morning comes too soon, on the heels of a sleepless night. Is this how Emi's been spending her nights? Staring at the wall or ceiling, trying to stop thinking about whatever it is? Her, in my case. That clenched feeling in my gut is still there. I can't rely on you. Words spoken so casually. Almost like she were teasing me or chastising me for suggesting that the earth is flat. That's how it's gotta be. The way it's gotta be sucks. I'm feeling so miserable that I very nearly decided to skip the run. That'd be stupid, though. It's not something I should do just to see her. Sure, that was the original reason, but it's something more now. I've decided to enjoy the running itself. There are worse ways to get the blood flowing anyway. Never thought I'd say it after that first week or so, but I feel a lot better after a run. Like no matter what else I do today, I've at least done that one thing. It wakes me up too, and Emi herself said that running always clears her mind. Maybe it'll help clear mine. I hope so. The morning is cool and clear, if a bit humid. Summer's making itself known, it seems. Emi's already stretching out when I arrive, and greets me with a smile and a wave.
Hey, Sal!
The sight of her so chipper is like a kick in the nuts. How can she be so happy after yesterday? I give a half wave and am surprised to receive a hug.
Hey, about last night.
Here it comes.
I wanted to say thanks. I actually managed to get some sleep for the first time in a while, and I think it's because of our talk. So, thanks.
How could she sleep better after our chat? She basically told me she wouldn't get any closer to me. And that let her sleep well? Excuse me, but what the hell? Emi either doesn't notice my bafflement or chooses not to notice. No telling with her anymore. Oh, no problem. Glad it helped. The venom that threatens to drip into my voice is controlled for now. But I think I'd better start running now before I do anything stupid. Emi seems equally willing to get started, and before long we're darting around the track. I can tell she feels more relaxed. Her running has gone back to the more graceful movements I remember from when I first watched her. It's a stark contrast to the almost brutal way she's been hurling herself around the track these past few days. Her talk really does seem to have helped her. A pity it couldn't help me. I get into the rhythm of running, thinking back to when I couldn't afford thinking about anything else but keeping my breathing steady and legs moving. Guess those days are gone. At least for the first couple of laps. Annoyed at the lack of success I'm having with clearing my head, I increase the pace. There's the burning sensation in my legs. The breaths come ragged in my chest, the pounding of my heart, which I still need to be careful about. But it does seem to have gotten stronger. I can feel it pumping blood through my veins. The sound thrums in my ears, but instead of being panicked as I was at that day in the snow, I'm instead filled with elation. Yes, it's working. My heart, that fatal flaw that landed me here, has improved. I'm able to keep going now, and maybe one day I'll be able to stop worrying as much. Right now, it doesn't matter that I have no idea what to do about Emmy and me. All that matters is that my arms and legs continue to pump in concert with one another. Nothing else. As I hit the final stretch, I remind myself that running really does help, though not as much as I'd hoped. I do feel better, and as I walk a few laps to cool down, I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Emmy wants me to stay distant from her. I can't bring myself to do so. There's gotta be a way around this, some kind of middle ground I can reach. I'm not sure what the middle ground is, though. Damn, I was almost feeling optimistic.
Nice running, Sao. You've really improved.
Nice run. That's all I can hope for now, isn't it? Congratulations, Sao. You're pathetic. I gotta change my attitude. Well, you know, I am pretty awesome. And yet, I just keep saying things that I don't mean. Any second now I'll be as good at hiding my problems as Emmy is.
I like to think so.
Why does she do this to me? Say something like that with such real affection in her voice and it makes my heart leap? She doesn't mean it. She can't. I must be doing a worse job than I thought, because Emmy peers closely at me.
Hey, you feeling okay? Maybe we should get to the nurse, huh?
Yeah, I'd hate to keel over on you. Emmy looks a little shocked at my bitter tone.
Don't say things like that. You've already done it once before, you know.
Why does she act so affectionate? She doesn't really care. I thought she made that clear. But despite all that, I find myself apologizing, even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting on an act. Sorry. Come on, let's go see the nurse. I can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Every time it feels like I've gotten over and over what happened last night. Emmy does something or says something that shows affection, and I'm back to the beginning. The image of her ending that conversation haunts me. It was like the final twist of the knife that left me feeling bereft of any hope that Emmy and I could be more than what we are. And what are we at this point? Little more than friends who happen to fuck. And really, it's not like I don't enjoy the time I spend with her. Said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring anything up to her. Was just gonna hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? He's starting to realize now. With this running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes bounding out of the door, gives me a kiss, and darts off to shower, I presume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office to give me the ritual once over. Any problems today? Nah, I even pushed a little harder today than I have in the past, and I seemed able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically risky coming from you, Hisao. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She's rubbed off on you, and you're not necessarily in a good way. At the mention of Emmy's name, I can't help but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts at control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. She looks more relaxed than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of year. I keep trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I broach the subject. Then last night she said, let me guess, she won't tell you because she can't trust you? And now you're crushed because you thought that the two of you were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less. How the heck do you know? It's Sao, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I've known Emmy for long enough to know that she'd try to do something like this. It's just like her. He says this in the sort of half-affectionate, half-frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigar dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with a pen. Look, would you mind if I give you some advice? Yes, please. Give me some advice. What was it Mato said yesterday? If you can't observe the thing, then observe what's around it? Worth a shot. The nurse knows Emmy better than I do, I'll wager. Excuse me? Sure, I'm open to suggestions. Honestly, I'm kinda lost. I've got no idea how to deal with this. I never would have guessed. He grins while he says this. I think he's kidding. Look, here's the deal. Emmy is stubborn. You should know that by now, and if you don't, then you're pretty unobservant. But I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm so grateful. Anyway, if she's decided that she doesn't want to talk about what happened, then she's not going to talk about what's happened. Has she said anything about what's been bothering her? Even a hint? Well, she did say she had nightmares about the accident. Really? You're making progress then. That's good. Well, I guess I can finally fill you in on this without violating my strict non-interference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. The anniversary of her accident is coming up soon. She gets depressed around this time because it was a pretty traumatic event considering what she lost. And that's the other thing. She acted like she lost something more than just her legs. What happened? Whoa, nope, not going there. You'll have to ask someone else about that, because that's a whole can of worms I am not about to open. If anyone wants you to know, she'll tell you on her own time. You've just got to be patient, that's all. Why are you even helping with all this? Because you're good for her. She trusts you, even if you don't think she does. And you've got the best chance of anyone at this school right now to help her through this time of year. She won't accept my help, but she might accept yours if you don't screw it up. So, don't screw it up. Got it? I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me.
Hey, you guys still in there?
Just a moment, Emmy. Give us a second to get our pants back on. The door bursts open and Emmy glares knives at the nurse.
Asshole.
And didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Emmy? Forget something? I try to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play the everything's fine game.
Actually, I forgot to ask you something.
Oh, what's that?
Do you want to come with me on a trip to my house? My mom's making dinner, and I thought you might want to join us.
Well, of course I accept. Emmy punches the nurse in the arm playfully.
Not you, idiot. You were over last week. I was talking to Hisao.
Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent. I'd love to go, Emmy. Thanks. The nurse raises an eyebrow, but says nothing.
Great, I'll be in my room. Swing by after your shower and change into something clean, and we'll grab the bus.
Sounds good. I'll see you in a bit. This time it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. What an interesting development. Maybe we're getting closer after all. Maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Or maybe she's just being polite. And a free meal sounds like a good way to apologize for last night. Great. Now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. I settle for a combination of all three and hop in the shower. Alright guys, we're going to end that off there. So, this episode was very interesting. I think we learned a lot of valuable stuff. So, let me just save this here. So, we definitely have learned a good lot about Emmy. So clearly we know that her dad is the other thing she lost in the accident. Which I don't know how Hisao isn't putting two and two together. But he isn't, so yeah, clearly it's more than just a little traumatic. She lost both her legs and she lost the person who we can arguably consider was, the closest to her, or the person she was closest with. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video, and if you enjoyed this series or any other series or videos on my channel, I would recommend hitting the subscribe button and turning on post notifications so you will be notified when those new videos come out. That's gonna be it for this time, and I'll see you in the next video.